Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. We are ready to rock 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. I see we've got people ready to go. We got 5 people hanging out tonight. How's it going, all? We got Mitzi's hanging out in the chat. We got my ranch water. That's awesome. Good to see you, friend. Let's see. Here we go. Ready? This sounds really good. Ready? Oh, yeah. This episode not brought to you by LaCroix, but hey, it tastes great. I just lost a listener because I was yeah. It's not go from 6 to 5. That's all right. We got Asherz here. I'm ready to go. That's right. We got Alan Lassiter. What's up? Hey, bud. Good to see you. Again, this is a live call-in show on YouTube. I'm also streaming it to Twitter and the Facebook group today. So we might get a few extra people in here. We'll see. But you can go ahead, call in 515-809-0165. And you can call in, share your story live on YouTube. It's also recorded for the Bigfoot Society podcast. And I also have a Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron podcast. Go ahead and subscribe to that one. It's over on iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff. We got Davis Adams hanging out. I'm ready to hear some great stories. And so am I. So people definitely call on in and share them. Also, if you have a friend who has a good story that they should be sharing with the world, send a message over to them. Say, hey, it's time to share it live on Strange Stories of Jeremiah Byron. Send them the number 515-809-0165. I'm getting pumped for CryptidCon, guys. I got to go. The schedule was just released. I got to go over the schedule with you. Get ready. Let's read through it together. Okay, Saturday, November 19th, CryptidCon, Lexington, Kentucky. We start out with Charlie Raymond, Bigfoot vs. Dogman, Tom Shea, Collecting Evidence, Matt Pruitt, The Value of Claims and Evidence, Ben Hansen, Bigfoot and UFOs, Mark Mersell, Ape Canyon Incident. I'm so excited to meet Mark Mersell. Holy mackerel. Dr. Maria Mayer. I totally did. I mispronounce the name? There's a 50-50 chance. I'm sorry. My apologies. My Wildlife and Science of Bigfoot. Super jazzed for this. Small Town Monsters panel. Oh my goodness. 6:15. I'm gonna love it. And there's surprises from what I've heard too. Sunday, the next day, we got Mark Muncy, Holler Monsters, Micah Hanks, yes, Sasquatch and Government, Cliff Barrickman. I've never heard of that guy. Projects and Fieldwork. They got this guy who's related to Bram Stoker, Stoker on Stoker, 125 years of Dracula. And last but not least, Mountain Monsters panel. Holy mackerel. I'm so excited for CryptidCon now after seeing that schedule. I was already pumped to meet everyone. Also, if you are watching the stream on Facebook, make sure you click that Facebook link for StreamYard so that you can agree to let StreamYard see your name, because there's a Facebook user who says, "What's up, man? I'm glad you're here. I just don't know who you are." So until you click that link and then click like allow, whatever, I can't see who you are in the chat. We got Hike with Mike. Hey, folks. Guys, go ahead, put in where your Hike with Mike says Facebook is still around. I know. Yeah, that's funny. We got jokes in here. Guys, if you got a story to share, you can go ahead, call on in 515-809-0165. Pass that phone number on to a friend. Let's see. Facebook user says, I'm here. I clicked it. I'm just going to imagine that it's Bob Gimlin or something. Also, extra bonus points if someone has Bob Gimlin's number and you're like, or like you go out and have coffee with Bob Gimlin and you're like, you know what? You should really call into this show Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday nights from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, Bob. And here's the phone number, 515-809-0165. And what you should do is you talk to this guy and you just have a little chat about the Patterson Gimlin film, all the good stuff. We got 11 people here. We got, let's see. Alan says Micah Hanks is about an hour and a half from me. I love it, sir. Patrick Vaughn, it's y'all again. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Guys, if you don't know who Patrick Vaughn is, go listen. Actually, you can listen to the replay on YouTube. The audio on the podcast will be out in a few days. Such a good episode when Patrick called in. I had multiple people say, "Hey, this was the best episode so far." And I was like, "Whoa, I don't know." I mean, I agree. Yeah, it's a great episode. But I've had a lot of really good episodes so far. But Patrick was really good, actually. Facebook user, guys, you got to click the link. I'm not Bob Gimlin, but I was recently on your show. Let's see if you can figure it out. Oh, a surprise. You're going to have to give me more hints. Sharon Serendipity. I like that name. That's cool. Hi from the West Coast. Hello, friend. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. We got 12 people hanging out. Oh, my goodness. Speak of good times. It's Cassie's Cryptid Land. Hey, what's up? Asherz has ratted out the person. Looks like it's Jordan. Actually, it's her guess. But I would say it's probably a good guess. But I would think Jordan would be kind enough to click the link unless he was just being sassy, which is fine too. Guys, we got 12 people hanging out. This is awesome. We're 6 minutes in. We're still waiting for that first caller. It's a slow burn. Some nights the burn doesn't come in until 9:50. Sometimes it's like bam, 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 bam. A few episodes. We were hot. We were going hot. We had a call. We had another call. We had a call. We had a double call. It was calls on calls. Calls to the walls. Oh, I'm out of control. All right, we got Hike with Mike. Tim Fasano was a very entertaining Squatch hunter. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. He was quite the character. I'm sorry to hear about Mr. Fasano. That always gets me. I'm like, this person would have been so good to talk to, but unfortunately, hats off to Mr. Fasano, for sure. Let's see. We say Asherz. Jordan is known for being sassy. I mean, just listen to that Lizard Man episode, which is so good. Asherz guessed correctly. It was me. Ha ha ha. Oh, snap-a-doodle-doo. Jordan's in the chat. Okay, guys, we got 13 people in here. There's got to be, some person that can pass on that phone number to another pal that they know has a great story that hasn't called in yet. And they tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and bam, bam, Bigelow. I'm going to say stuff tonight, and it's live. It's great. It must be this liqueur. Yes, Sharon, you will go down in history as the last minute 9:50 call in, Sharon from Vancouver Island, which was a fantastic call in. Oh my goodness. I really like that story you shared. That was so good. I think it was actually 9:43. Um, that's right, Asherz. This episode is sponsored by CIA Water. I'll never tell. Or will I? Probably not. Guys, if you're going to Crypticon, put it in the chat so I know, because I got it. I got Crypticon is just gonna blow my mind. I mean, people that have been to Crypticon before, how many people should I expect that to be there? Is it like a few hundred people or more, or like is there people all over the place? You got to tell me, like, how big is the crowd usually at Crypticon? Someone let me know. Crypticon crew, woo-woo. Flava Flav, what's up? All right, we got 12 people hanging out. I'm so glad that you guys are hanging out with me tonight. We're all getting. Asher says tons and tons and tons of people. That is true. I'm pumped. I'm a little bit paranoid about the trip down though, because it's gonna be like Home Alone style, and like, excuse me, going through the airport. Des Moines is fine. I'm flying out of Des Moines, but like get to Chicago, all bets are off. All bets are off. And then it's like take a little puddle jumper, like in the recent season of Stranger Things, over to Lexington. Whew. But I'm amped because I got that, I wanted to have the experience of like going to Crypticon as an attendee, being able to go to all the talks and hang out with whoever. So I got that VIP ticket. What's up? Spared no expense. Guys, call out a researcher that you've been digging lately. I'm going to call one out right now. So on TikTok, I ran into this account, and I know like he's been on stuff, but I hadn't really heard of him before. I know he's been on Bigfoot and Beyond and stuff, but Charlie Raymond from Kentucky, holy mackerel. Charlie Raymond is an awesome, awesome Bigfoot researcher. Like, check him out on TikTok. He's got the KBRO has amazing Bigfoot videos on YouTube and like witness reports. It is so good. Charlie Raymond. I know he's going to be one of the speakers. I can't wait to meet him, guys. We got 14 people. We got 14 people hanging out right now. I'm so glad that you are all hanging out here. Alan says, I wish I could go. Mitzay says, hoping to make it next year. That's right, man. Hats off to you. It's 9:11. We're still waiting for that first caller. Who's going to be the first call in? Who's going to make me not talk to myself like I'm a crazy person in my room for a while? I don't know. Mitzi, for Dogman, I enjoy listening to Dark Waters. Interesting. Is that like the Pirates of Dark Water, the classic kids animated TV show back in the 90s? I don't know. No, I know Dark Waters is a Dogman podcaster. Let's see. Oh man, we got the chat is blowing up tonight. Let's see. We got when you go, make sure to talk to Tom Shea. He would make a great guest. Cassie, I've had multiple people actually bring up Tom Shea. I need to try to get that connection, and it'd be fun to chat with him. I think. I hear he's one of the best, highly regarded Bigfoot trackers right now. Hike with Mike says, Campfire Steve from Florida. He's always researching the skunk ape, I believe, is heading to Cryptid this year. Are you saying he's headed to Crypticon this year? I don't know. Let me know, Hike with Mike. That would be cool to meet him because he's been in here a few times. He usually pops in and says stuff about the skunk ape. Delicious and nutritious, kids. All right, so we are 9:12, waiting for that first call. If you've got just for the new kids, if you've got a Bigfoot story, cryptid story, UFO, alien, weird stuff, strange stuff, unknown, paranormal stuff, anything, think old school, coast to coast AM. You can call in 515-809-0165. A lot of people are like, what is this guy talking about? This is weird. It's a call-in show, just like the old AM radio guys. And I do this Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sunday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Although I will tell you that I'm going to take a little bit of a break around Crypticon. That Thursday and Sunday, I will not be doing a show. So, all right, let's see what we got. Cassie's Cryptid Land. He will be at Crypticon. He's a speaker and has his cast set up. Oh, yeah. What's up? I'm loving it. Asherz, I can share my Men in Black story if you want. Asherz, say no less. Do it. I always go back to Hammerson Peters. Yes, Hammerson Peters is the MVP, dude. We were talking about Hammerson Peters, unsung hero. We got Asherz calling in. Patrick Vaughn, Stephen Hill, Doug Hycheck, Matt Larson. Great dudes. Yeah, all great dudes. Stephen Hill. Interesting. I wonder if you're talking about the same guy I know that I met. Patrick, hit me up on Facebook and let me know some let me know a little bit more about this Stephen Hill guy. I think it's the same guy I'm thinking of. Cassie's Cryptid Land. You should do a live Saturday and get everyone you meet to tell a story. Oh my goodness, that's a great idea. I'm not going to make any promises because I told myself that I'm primarily just like, but I love that idea of doing a live Saturday and get everyone you meet to tell a story. Dude, I'm going to think about it for sure. Let me know in the chat. Say do a Y in the chat or whatever. Put a Y, the letter Y in the chat if you would like me to do a live on the Saturday and try to get people to tell me a crazy story. I could do it. But I got to see that Y in the chat. I got to see a Y. Alan Lassiter says Stephen Hill that spent on night callers. Ooh, interesting. Cassie said the Y. That's for sure. All right, it counts. Okay, is Asherz going to talk about the Giants? No, I think Men in Black, but Giants too. That's crazy. Patrick, I'm not in Facebook. He researches with Lauren Smith. All right, thank you. I'll use that info to do crazy detective work. I appreciate it. We got Wise in the chat, so I'm going to try to do a live stream. Asherz, call in. It's your density. Oh, good timing.
Asherz Hill.
Call from Asherz.
Hello, Asherz.
Hey, buddy.
This is live all over the world and recorded for everywhere. Are you okay with that?
All over the whole wide world?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Wow.
I know. Our production value is really going up.
Well, congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I remember when you were, podcasting in your car, talking to yourself.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, the real ones know about that for sure. You should go listen to the first episodes if you don't know what Asherz is talking about.
Yeah.
So, tell me about
Yeah.
the MIB starring Will Smith.
So, yeah. Will Smith was there. It was pretty crazy. And what's his name? Tommy Lee Jones. It was nuts. They saved the world and everything. Like this giant bug. It was wow. No, so okay, so all right, let me preface this. I cannot tell you with 100% certainty that this was a Men in Black, but so I am notoriously terrified of aliens. I always have been, always. Honestly, if people don't know, I'm an investigator, research everything. I'm a Fortean investigator, so I do it all. But I'm mostly heavily into ufology nowadays. But I started off in an interest of cryptozoology because I was scared of aliens. I wanted nothing to do with it. So when I was 18, I saw a UFO for the very first time, and it was crazy. It was like 3:00 in the morning. I'm living with my parents, and I'm outside, and I see like it was slow moving. Whatever it was massive, and it had to have been massive because it had two lights on the front of it, like headlights, and it was just kind of wobbling through the air, kind of just coming over the house, and it scared the hell out of me. So I went inside and didn't want anything to do with it. Well, I got curious. I'm like, okay, well, I kind of knew how to like track like Bigfoot sightings and stuff like that. I'm like, I wonder if there's like a resource for UFOs. So I was like on a website looking up, where to report like UFO sightings, and there were the same sighting consistent with mine that same night. I kind of put it down and didn't really think about it again until about, it was probably about a year later. And I moved out of my parents' house. I'd gotten married, all that fun stuff. And back in the day, in the height of it all, I was on Craigslist.
Yeah.
I remember that. And Craigslist has just weird stuff on there. And I think I was just like looking for odd jobs or something. Anyway, there's a post on there. And I, like most people know, I live in Dayton, Ohio, right by, the Air Force Base and Wright-Patterson and all that. Yep. Well, there's also Wright State University. And this post was allegedly from a student from Wright State. And they said that they were a film student. They were making, for their film class, they were making some type of documentary on UFOs. So they were wanting people that had UFO sightings. So I'm like, oh, hey, I've had one. And so I told my husband, hey, I'm going to go meet up with this random guy on Craigslist.
Oh my goodness, Asherz.
Yeah, he was like, you're not going to go by yourself. So I didn't. Okay, so me and my husband go. We meet up with this guy at a coffee shop. All right. He is very normal. I mean, he probably is college aged. I don't remember his name. I don't remember what he looked like. He was just didn't stand out at all. He recorded the whole thing on like a tape recorder.
Okay.
And that was it. That's not the weird part. the weird part is that, as my life goes on, I forget about it. It was probably about 4 years later, okay? For whatever reason, I make the mistake and I'm on Craigslist again. I see that same post and I know it's verbatim. I'm a film student at Wright State University on a film project for, UFOs, and I'd like you to share your UFO side. And it was just so weird because I can't imagine in a 4-year period somebody making a UFO documentary at the same school. It was just, and I didn't meet up with them, but I probably shut up. But Men in Black is like one of my areas of study, and honestly, it was that's such a good cover.
That's so wild. Unless he's like staying back or like taking forever to get through school, like Van Wilder, but only UFO documentary guy.
I've considered that. I'm like, look, maybe the guy, because there's still stigma. I'm like, maybe he's still working on his documentary. Who am I to judge? I
Right.
get it. It took a while.
Right.
Maybe he, it just doesn't want to look weird, so he uses the film school as a cover for it. I don't know. But it was weird. It was really weird.
Dude, that's crazy. I love it.
I mean, I would like to believe that it was a Men in Black, just the new age, because you don't really hear Men in Black stories aren't really around anymore.
That's true. They're not. That's weird.
No, not really something that you hear about. Well, maybe it's because they've gotten better at being human, I guess. Which is something that they're notoriously really bad at, being human. Throughout the years, people report that. When I went to when I spoke at High Strangeness Erie, I had my research partner with me, and we dressed up as Men in Black. And she was doing her eyeliner, and she was, for lack of a better term, she was fucking it up. And she was like, whatever, I'll be like a Men in Black anyway, because they don't know how to do makeup. I was like, well,
yeah,
but
you give it to them.
Yeah, they're gonna right. So they're gonna wear probably nowadays just regular clothes, like what time period, because they would really stick out if they weren't, right? And so I don't know. It's just something to consider. Again, I would like to believe that it was a Men in Black, but who knows? It's probably just a procrastinating film student.
Maybe we'll never find out, or maybe we will. The truth is out there, I suppose.
I've thought about trying to put it out into the ether of social media, trying to find that guy. Like, hey, did you go to film school in 2010 and make a UFO? How don't you go to school and ask them? Just ask. Hey, where can I? There should be an archive of all the stupid films that they make. And I'm like, oh, that's a really good point.
You would think so. Yeah, you would think so.
I thought about it. But how deep do I want to dig? Do I really, they say if you go looking into the void, it looks back. So I don't know.
What if you started hitting up yard sales in the area, and then all of a sudden you find all these videotapes for sale, and it's all the interviews? I don't know.
That'd be a pretty cool.
That would be weird, right? That'd be weird.
Everybody's listed with their date of birth, their blood type.
Tate says.
But anyway.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Asherz, thank you for calling in. I'm going to be thinking about that one for a while, actually. Hopefully not too long, or maybe they'll come to my area next.
Well, I won't come for you because you work for them. So
that's true. That's a good point. That's a solid point.
All right, I'll save some other stories for some other night.
All right, pal. I'll see you in a few days, about a week or so.
All right, I'll see you.
Peace. All right, always good to talk to Ash. Asherz is a fun one to have to call, because she's got so many stories, and it's fun for her to call in every once in a while. All right, let's catch up with your chat here. Oh boy, Tate is here. Why can't Beyond the Trail find the trail? I'll never tell. Or Alex and Eli will never tell. Christina, better known as the Crescent Hare, has a wild MIB encounter. When she told it on our show, I was actually speechless. That's right. You should check out Campfire Tales of the Strange and Unsettling. I tracked down that episode because they're a great podcast. Tate also says no trail has been found. I'll be the judge of that. We got 14 people hanging out here. We are about almost a half an hour in. We had Asherz call in first today, talking about a potential MIB encounter back in the day. Was it or wasn't it? The truth is still out there. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you click the link and say that StreamYard can see who you are. So Facebook user that said, "Hey, I'm glad you're here, but I have no idea who you are." So there's that. If you have a story about Bigfoot, cryptids, weird stuff, strange stuff, UFOs, aliens, go ahead, call on in to Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. You can call 515-809-0165. Let's see. Facebook user says, heading to Point Pleasant the 19th for the weekend. Hey, that's cool. So I'm guessing you're not going to CrypticCon. All right, Jeremiah, my husband is sitting in with me tonight. This is Mitzay. Someone make him a believer in the hairy guy. Hey, I know, right? Although, Mitzay, once Patrick Vaughn's episode is out from the other day, you need to go listen to that. In the way he describes that family of Bigfoot that he was hanging around researching for more than 16 years, it is a wild. It's so crazy. Let's see. Facebook user says, "Hey, how are you doing?" Well, unfortunately, I'm not sure who that is, but I'm doing pretty good, pal. Oh, it tastes great. I hope everyone has their LaCroix with them today. Make sure that your telephones are working, and you can try that by calling into 515-809-0165 to share a story. Facebook user says, "Hey, dude. Good to see you, pal." Make sure you click on the StreamYard link that's in that post, unless you want to be anonymous. And as Asherz just said, Facebook user is MIB. That's exactly right. This is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. It's live on the YouTubes and Twitter and Facebook, and it's recorded for the podcast. So if you've got a weird story to share, Bigfoot related, cryptid stuff, UFOs, aliens, strange stuff, anything that would be in old school coast to coast AM, if you know what I mean, go ahead, call on in 515-809-0165. We are about halfway through the hour. This goes from 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Ooh, that hits great. That hits great. Facebook user says 515. Well, I appreciate you, bud. Nope. Tate is not getting through tonight. I will block his call. Let's see. Alan says, "I'm trying to get Steven to call in." Dude, yes. Everyone be like Alan. And if you've got a person in mind that has a story that's crazy, strange, weird, Bigfoot, especially Bigfoot, cryptid stuff, send him a message right now like Alan is doing and be like, "Hey, friend, you need to call into this live call-in show." It's like the old AM call-in shows. Call 515-809-0165. Share that story with the world. It'll be great. You'll love it. We are, I know I'm pumped for CrypticCon coming up soon. Guys, if you haven't gotten your ticket for CrypticCon yet, there's still time, I believe, to do it. It's a 2-day event. For the people that are new, I mean, you're going to hear Saturday, Charlie Raymond, Tom Shea, Matt Pruitt, Ben Hansen, Mark Marcel, Maria Mayor, Small Town Monsters panel, Mark Muncy on Sunday, Micah Hanks, Cliff Barrickman, Dacre Stoker, Mountain Monsters. Dude, Joe Turry's in the house. What's up? Hey, JB. Glad you're here, pal. We got 17 people. This is almost a record. The record's 18. I don't know if we can blam through it. Jordan has an interesting question. Are you planning on taking the main show into a more generally Fortean direction, Or are you getting all that out through strange stories? So, Jordan, that is such a good question. And there's going to get a point where, yeah, I will. I'm trying to get some interviews that might, the show might not be all cryptozoology all the time. And I've talked to different people. I know I've talked about it in the Patreon. I think I've talked about it other places too. But I have such a backlog. We have such a backlog of episodes right now that you're not going to see it really potentially until mid-December, which is actually coming up. I need to schedule some more episodes. Let's see who we got. Tate says, I'm in your basement, JB. That's impossible. I don't have a basement. Sherwin says, Table 203, Crypticon. Yeah, go check out Sherwin. Facebook user says, I'm going to call. Dude, I don't know who you are. If you're the MIB, why not? Actually, if you've got a story, call on in, please. 515-809-0165. Tate says, what's that behind you? I'm not going to fall for that. Oh, I thought that was Facebook user calling in. All right. We'll do a quick reset. This is Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. Share your story live. Call 515-809-0165. This is live all over the internet, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Also recorded for the Bigfoot Society podcast. And there's also the Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron podcast as well. This is high praise coming from my friend Jordan from Campfire, Tales of the Strange and Unsettling podcast. I love that idea. I want to hear you talking to folks about ghost stories and alien abductions and mysterious disappearances. You will kill it. Well, dude, we'll see. The ghosty stuff, man. I don't know the ghosty stuff. But let's see. Yeah, I definitely want to get some. The main focus, of course, I love the Bigfoot stuff. I love cryptozoology, but I want to get some weird stuff in there too. I'm going to shoot for some really awesome interviews for Fouke and stuff, and maybe ancient history, weird stuff. Oh, Pat O. Oh my goodness, that would be a wild episode if Pat O could call in about mysterious disappearance. We got 18. I think we already passed 18 already, though, for a little bit. We went up to 19. That was Q. Guys, we're a little bit past halfway through the hour. We got less than a half an hour here. So if you've been waiting to call in with your amazing story of craziness, Bigfoot, cryptids, UFOs, aliens, strange, weird, unsettling, paranormal. Asher says it's really good. Promise he's got some good ones. Well, then tell Pat O that he needs to call on in to 515-809-0165. Tate Hieronymus says, Jeremiah, you need to get Bob Lazar on your podcast. Wouldn't that be wild? That maybe I should try. That would be wild. I just don't. I don't. I would want him, if I'm going to have a guy like that, I would want to definitely be able to do it justice. So I'd have to prep really, really big. Facebook user says he's getting frustrated. He's saying, I tried to call. Guys, 515-809-0165. Call right now. Share your story. Oh my goodness, we're in the 20s, guys. That would be crazy. Hey, pals, it's time for a LaCroix break. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. That tastes real smooth. If you've got a strange, weird, wonderful, paranormal, aliens, UFOs, Bigfoots, cryptids, or is it Bigfoot? Give me a story. Give me a call, 515-809-0165. Actually, Tate, I kind of do have a soundboard. Let me know if you hear anything. Can you hear that? Do you hear a rim shot? Tate, give me a yes or no if you hear something. Okay, yeah. Well, I do have a sound effects board. I guess I just never thought of using it. So, oh, that's great. Oh, that is so good. Good job, Zoom PodTrack P4. Wow, we're rocking out. We are 35 minutes into it. You guys are chilling out with me. What about covering? I don't know. So, Jordan, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Steven says Steven said he'll try to call in next week. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. Adam Larson from yes, buddy. How's it going? Another Iowa pal. Thank you for being here, man. I gotta talk to you someday. I really need to have an interview with you. I know we kind of talked about that before, but guys, if you're not following Bigfoot Film Appreciation Circle on Instagram, it is so good. It's a wealth of knowledge. Ooh, Mitzay, if you want to call in, you can. Orb stories that's cool. Yeah, I'm down. You can call in 515-809-0165. Up to you. If anyone has a weird, strange, paranormal, UFO, aliens, Bigfoot, cryptid story, call on in 515-809-0165. Share that number. Oh my goodness. Sherwin. So Sherwin hit on a thing. I would love to interview. Oh, I'd love to interview Jacob the carpetbagger. We'll talk about that another day.
Call from Mitzay. To accept.
Oh, guys, we're getting 2 calls at once. Hey, Mitzay.
Hello.
That was wild. I've never have gotten 2 calls at the same time before. So I just had to figure out what to do in that situation. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so I have this herb story that I literally totally forgot about.
Oh my goodness.
So this happened in Indianola, Iowa.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Yeah, so I think I was a senior in high school. So this would have been 2014 going on in 20. No, shoot. That's my
goodness,
college graduation.
I'm so old. This is
2010,
great.
2011.
No, it's back in 2001, right?
2010, 2011.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
But anyways, my friend had this like ranch, and it was just like cornfields and stuff. And we grew up in Des Moines, so we're like, oh, Indianola, like yeah, like let's go, like no adults, like let's party, right?
Oh yeah.
And they had fireworks, so it must have been like June, July. Anyways, they told us that like we couldn't go inside the house, that we had to stay outside, so like his parents like wouldn't figure out that we were all there, And so like it's dark, there's a whole bunch of cornfields, we start like popping off some fireworks and the ones that you throw onto the ground. I forget.
Oh yeah, the little like
that just pop firecrackers. And all of a sudden, we're there, we're chilling, and we weren't like, we weren't underage drinking it.
Okay,
and,
good.
And all of a sudden, like my friend, he's like, yo, like WTF, like did y'all see that? Because the house was dark. And we were like, and it's dark outside, like there's cornfields, like we're already kind of like a little iffy. And because it was like down this like dirt road. And then like we all like go towards like the front of the house because we were like in the back.
And we see this, like, the house is dark and it's just like a ranch style house. And yeah, we see this like orb like out of like the inside the house through like a three
What?
panel main window. And so like everybody just like dipped out. We were like, oh, like WTF, we're like, fuck this, like we're leaving. And my friend, like, it's kind of like funny because he like lost his keys as he was like running away because we were like scared, and he left his car. We didn't even go back to look for his keys. Like, we're just like, just get in with us. And we left. So he came back the next day, when like the sun is out to go look for his keys. And he said that there were like handprints on his car, so it kind of reminds me of like, the bridge. And they say like, oh, like
yeah.
the little handprints, like the kids are pushing it or whatever. That's kind of what it reminded me of. But yeah, that's my story. And like, we were popping off fireworks in the back. So like, to me, I don't think like it could have been a reflection from that. And because they were just like firecrackers, I don't think we had any of the big ones, or at least they hadn't like started blowing them up yet. But yeah, that's my orb story that
That's
I totally
crazy.
forgot about.
I've never heard of like an orb story in that kind of environment. So thank you for calling. That was awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll talk to you later.
All right, peace out.
Bye.
So that was a first for the call-in show because I actually had 2 callers at the same time. So that was cool. Caller that tried to call in, if you could call in again right now, I would think that would be amazing because Mitzay beat you by a few seconds. So yes, call in right now, please. 515-809-0165. Call in to share your story. And Facebook user, it's Tate says, hey, so when is Russell Accord going to call in? Tate, if you can give this number to Russell Accord, have Russell call in, that would be amazing. It'll happen. It totally will. All right. Uh-oh. Did I hear it? Okay, I think Facebook user is going to call in. We're going to cross our fingers. We got 42 minutes in. We got 18 minutes left until the end of the hour. We got 2 calls in so far. We had Asherz talking about potential MIB. We had Mitzay talking about orbs in Iowa, orbs near cornfields. And then we had a missed call. But I think the person's going to call again. Cross your fingers. I can't reach you. Try again, pal. Try one more time. 515-809-0165. I appreciate you calling in a few times. What if that was Bob Gimlin? Mike, if it was a 509 area code, that's an automatic you beat out all the other calls every time, because pretty sure that would be the area code. So yeah, Mike, if you want to pass on, if you know Bob Gimlin, you'd be like, hey, dude, you should call in, Mr. Gimlin. No, the other call was, I want to say it's more from the East Coast. So east of the Rockies, as Mr. Art Bell would say. Rest in peace. Tate says, I have Bob's number. I'm not going to call Bob directly. Let me... Okay. Hold on. I'm going to try to call this person back real quick. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Let's see if I can reach whoever this is. Facebook caller, I think I'm calling you back. Let's see if it works. Fingers crossed, guys.
Hello.
Hi, were you just trying to call into Strange Stories?
Yes, I did.
Fantastic.
How you doing?
Good. This is Jeremiah. Thanks for calling in. This is live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and also recorded for the podcast. So just want to make sure that you're aware of that. Who am I talking to today?
It's Katy Elizabeth. live
Oh,
from
sure.
Cancer.
Yeah. The great champ researcher.
Yes, I am. And I was trying to call through, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, my
Kept
goodness.
hanging up. Kept hanging up.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm glad that we got through. But so Katie, what are you calling in about today?
I was just calling in to say hi, and I was kind of like, how do I put it? I just lost my dad
Oh,
a couple days ago.
yeah.
So it's really, really difficult. But, I knew that you were trying to get a hold of me, and I wanted to get a hold of you. And it was kind of a funny thing. Then we went back and forth. So it was amazing that you were on live. And I was like, this is really kind of comforting for me, especially for my dad, because my dad loved the unknown, everything about it. So
Yeah.
I just want
Interesting.
to keep up with you and just say hi. And I just wanted to get hold of you real quick and just let you know that I'm still alive.
Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, or talking to you yet. So, but I'm glad that you are calling in. Do you have any like interesting stories from your research over the years?
I do. I had a recent hit on my sonar,
Oh, wow.
which happened a month ago, and I was traveling down the lake at 5 miles an hour, and I hit this huge hit on my boat. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm not stupid. A lot of people think, like, maybe it was a sturgeon, it was a big thing. Well, sturgeon do not get to be 20 foot long. This anomaly was 20 feet long. And that's what's important to present to people, that this thing was huge. This thing was, I'm going to swear.
Oh,
my
please
dad
don't.
did. Effing huge.
Sure.
It was huge. And you could see the appendage move back with the fin.
Okay.
And
Wow.
a lot of people say, like, oh, it's a sturgeon. I'm going to tell you what. In my lifetime, I've been on Lake Champlain. My dad was a fisherman on the ocean.
Okay.
He would say to me, like, look at this, look at that. He trained me to be really knowledgeable in my work. And I know for a fact that thing, that animal, was not a thing that would be known to anyone at all. And it was really quickly going through that sonar. But if anybody knows what sonar is, you can look at it and say, okay, that's not a sturgeon.
Sure.
It's not nothing we know.
Fascinating. Do you feel you're getting close to the goal you have of getting the best evidence of Champ, or what's your goal in the future, Katie?
I absolutely feel like this is the closest I've ever been.
Sure.
There's nothing I could prove to the scientific world. I mean, the scientists, they say, oh, well, this is this is that. I know what I have. And it's so important to the world that this is presented in a scientific way, because that's the way I am. I want to present things with science. I want to be wholly truthful. And I'm going to tell you what, this is so amazing. It's an amazing scientific thing, what I found and what I've been proven to find. echolocation.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
one thing that I've got. That's not something that's dealt with in a scientific way, but it's something that is against science. And a lot of people think, well, if that's not science, if this isn't science, there's no way to prove the species, which is true. You can't go onto these things without having ridicule.
Mm.
There's always going to be scientific ridicule. And I'm going to tell you what I do is so important to the scientific community because people are against this stuff. People are against Champ, Bigfoot, whatever.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
gonna tell you what.
Yeah.
I am so happy and proud of myself for sticking to it because most people don't do that. They're scared. You can't be scared. Because if you're scared, then all of a sudden there's nothing to lean on.
Absolutely. Well, Katy, it sounds like you're doing the good work, getting that Champ evidence, and we'll have to keep up to date with you and hear from you again in the future. But thanks so much for calling in, Katy.
No problem. It was great to talk to you, and we'll talk soon.
You got it. Have a good night. Wow. Cool to talk to Katy Elizabeth, researcher of Champ, up there in the northeast, that Lake Champlain, of course. Guys, we got a little less than 10 minutes left. We still got time for one more caller. If anyone else has a quick story to share, we got a lot of stuff going on in the chat right now. Let's see if there's anything. Asherz has Bob Gimlin's number, is going to call. Guys, we'll leave Bob Gimlin alone. Let's see. I'm looking through real quick. Oh, there's all sorts of people hanging out. Another Facebook user says, woke up from a snack-induced nap to catch the tail end of this. Good stuff. Maybe I'll call in sometime in the future. Well, friend, I hope that you do. Guys, it's been a fun night. We had 3 calls. We had Asherz call in about the MIB UFO documentary, college student. We had Mitzay call in about the orb of Iowa, Indianola, Iowa. And Katy Elizabeth call in to chat about Champ real quick, which is cool. Still got a few minutes left. If you've got a quick story to share, feel free to call on in 515-809-0165. This is live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and recorded for the podcast. We got 19 people hanging out right now. That is a new record. Very cool. A few minutes left. You can call in, share your story real quick, or you can always send a message to a friend who has a story, something cool to share. Say, hey, you should call on up 515-809-0165, and we'll make it happen. It's been a good night. Time for a quick drink of LaCroix. Ooh, that was nice. If you like Macho Man Randy Savage and you like Bigfoot, you can get a Squatcho Man shirt from the Bigfoot Society Etsy. And while we're waiting to see if there's going to be a last-minute caller, which you still can call in, make sure you're subscribed to this channel by hitting the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that if I do get to go live on CryptidCon, you won't miss out on that live. We still got 5 minutes. If you have a quick last-minute story to call in, you can call at 515-809-0165. Let's see what we got here. Facebook user says, what flavor LaCroix? Raz cranberry. It's delicious. Tate, you're going to get in trouble. That's funny. Dave Daggett, hello, sir. a Hodag root beer would have ended this show perfectly. I know it would have. Unfortunately, when they get a hold of Hodag root beer, that stuff doesn't last for a long time. But my good pal Ben from the Hodag store always hooks a brother up. So if you've got Hodag, if you want to get some Hodag stuff, you better check out the Hodag store and head on up to Rhinelander, Wisconsin. You can also buy some Hodag stuff online too. Just look up the Hodag store. We got a few minutes. We got a few minutes left here. Oh dear. We got a last minute caller.
Call from.
Ron Reed.
Oh no.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Ron Reed, no way. Ron, are you there? Oh shoot, I messed this up. Hey Ron.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, is this like the Ron Reed from the north?
Yeah.
Wow, thanks for calling in,
Ron.
man. You know this is live on YouTube and recorded for the podcast, right?
I do, yeah. I was the guy that woke up from the nap.
Oh, yeah. I can't see any of the Facebook user stuff because something's weird. But dude, what's going on, man?
Doing pretty good. I just did some trail volunteer stuff today at an environmental center, helped out with some people.
Oh, cool.
Educating for a field trip and stuff. But so you need a quick story.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. All right. Here's one that might be Bigfoot. I'm not entirely sure.
Ooh.
I think I told this on one of Faith's podcasts in years past, but one of the things that happened to me was in Fouke area. So this is the Legend of the Boggy Creek area.
Okay.
I've been going out there a couple of times to do some field research out by Mercer Bayou. There's an access point out there that doesn't get too much attention. And the year before, I had heard some knocks with a group of people that I met on the fly, and we kind of grouped together when we all realized we were camping and Bigfooting. And so I was following up on that and going back out to that location. And what had happened was when I got there, I didn't hear any wood knocks or anything. It was kind of a quiet area. And I did start to hear owls and things. So one of the first things that I heard was the barred owl, which is very common anywhere in the lower 48 of anybody, out in Bigfoot. And you learn pretty quickly what a barred owl can do. It makes all these different sounds.
Oh, sure.
But it did that very call,
nice,
that
dude.
everyone
Yeah,
talks
nice.
about. And so I noticed that, and then somewhere else in the woods, I kind of heard the great horned owl, or close relative, and they've got the very low sound, the characteristic, the stereotypical owl sound, right?
Right.
So, I was listening, and I was just wood knocking and trying to, I was like, come on, something come out of the swamp. But the longer I was there, the more I realized there's a lot of owls here. So in one location, I was hearing the barred owl, and then in another location, I was hearing the great horned owl. But then I was hearing like another barred owl, and then I was hearing another great horned owl, and then I realized I couldn't triangulate. Like I couldn't figure out there's all these different owl sounds, but they're coming from the same spot and they're alternating. So I don't know. I was just like, are they flying around chasing each other, or what's happening here? And then pack of coyotes comes through. A lot of animals out there on the edge, and I felt kind of weird because I wasn't used to hearing so many animals so close.
Okay.
And something just didn't seem right. I was hearing, from the way I was starting to visualize it, was you had a barred owl, a great horned owl, and later coyote yips coming from the same one spot over here to my left, one spot to my right, and then one spot from behind me. So the more I would listen, it sounded like the animals were trading places, and it seemed like all the animals were there beside each other. Like, and I could not rationalize having a coyote and barred owl and great horned owl over here, but beside one tree, and then over here in another location, they're also just like randomly taking turns making sounds.
That's
behind
weird,
me.
man.
So it seemed like, you hear stories of mimicry and stuff in the Bigfoot world, and I was wondering to myself, okay, is this what's happening? So I got weird too, right? So I thought that maybe something was playing head games with me, and I've never felt really like this in all the 10 plus years of field research. So I was like, okay, I'm out here by myself in confidence, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't have to like worry about people judging my research techniques and my behaviors.
Right.
So I said, okay, if something's getting weird on me, I can do weird back. So then I was like, well, what are some sounds from, animals from the human world? And so I said to myself, well, what if I started meowing like a cat, barking like a dog, and mooing like a cow, and just making all different animal sounds myself and trying to fool whatever's out there that, hey, I'm a different animal, and I kind of felt silly because it didn't really do too much. But then I had one more trick up my sleeve, and that was a didgeridoo. And I realized that it was the didgeridoo that got the result, because I had the audio recording the whole time. And when I got the didgeridoo out and I played it, a few seconds pass, and then in the recording, as I discovered later, you hear it. You hear one crisp knock.
Really?
Whack. And then it got quiet. And that was kind of one of those things. There was so many. I was so emotionally charged because I was so confused as to what was happening. But something told me that something strange was going on. And that one knock was all I needed to kind of verify that there weren't animal parties going on in the woods. There was something else going on. And then after that, I just kind of like got really upset.
Yeah.
and put in the Sierra sounds and blared them full volume as I peeled out of the area. It was kind of one of those nights where it escalated to a point where, if it was Bigfoot, I was mad at it, and I didn't want to be there,
Dude.
But it was just kind of a crazy experience, because whatever was out there making those noises, it was all very close. And never in my outdoor experience have I had such a cacophony of animals going back and forth. 2 different species of owls, but like each of them, like it was weird. It sounded like there were 3 barred owls and 3 horned owls, and then after the coyotes ran through, there were the coyotes. It just sounded like all those animals were parking in the woods and distributing themselves however. And it seemed like it was, I don't know, man. Even now, just trying to tell the story, it's bizarre. And all I can tell you is, for sure, out of everything that was there was at least one thing that made a wood knot.
That's such an awesome story, Ron. Ron Read, I've interviewed him a while back on the podcast. So if you'd like this story, you can go back and hear a longer interview with Ron. But Ron, you're one of the guys where your name needs to be out a lot more. Can you spend a few minutes sharing like how people can keep up to date with your Bigfoot stuff? Because you're always going out and doing stuff with a pretty awesome group of people.
Yeah, I guess you can find a lot of my initial posts and links to stuff that I'm involved in, because I work with Alex and Eli from Small Town Monsters, and I work with Tate Hieronymus and have been working with him with the Search for Save series and stuff. I'm going to be featured in a lot of Western Bigfoot exploration stuff with Jonathan Easley and his editing. And so I'll kind of like pop up here and there, but I guess a lot of the stuff that I control, I have a Facebook page, which needs a little attention right now because I haven't done much with it, but it's called Trailing Giants. And hopefully I can get some content up there soon. I've got some concepts of podcasts and stuff there, and just a pretty demanding time of the year for me. But But yeah, Trailing Giants is kind of where I'll post this stuff, as some of these other developers put out the content, and I am directly involved with all of it. So that's a good spot to kind of follow me in the projects that I'm associated with. These guys do a lot of great stuff, like you said, and we all need a little bit of exposure.
That's right. That's
yeah.
right. Well, dude, thanks
Yeah,
so much for calling in. That was a fun story for the end, dude.
Yeah, thanks. I definitely got more, but we'll save those for the future.
You got it, dude. Well, good talking to you. I'll be talking to you later, man.
All right, have a good one.
See ya.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thanks for hanging out for another episode of Strange Stories with Jeremiah Byron. This episode will be out on the podcast in a few days. You can always listen to the stories you didn't catch tonight on the replay on YouTube. Thanks so much, all, for hanging out. If you like what you heard, this is a show that happens every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday night, 9 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Go ahead and write down the phone number 515-809-0165. And you can go ahead and call in next time with your strange story, or pass that on to someone you might know that has a story that should call in, like Bob Gimlin, or random person like that. Appreciate you all being here and spending your night with me. Have a good one, and catchphrase that I'll figure out for the future. Have a good one, all.